Chaos at the IRS. Like, is the IRS gearing up for war in our country?
This is making the IRS with
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
Pentagon, Department of State,
is no longer.
those IRS agents are designed to come after you.
This is bigger than the British Army. I'm going to try to rescind the spending for the IRS and send it to the border.
Who are these thousands of IRS bureaucrats? Who are they going to harass? They'll be working remotely, drinking their fancy coffee, going after the guy who's helping kids and has the side business.
Are they going to have a strike force that goes in with AK-15s already loaded, ready to shoot?
We are going to double the size of the IRS and target hardworking families who make $400,000 or less.
Do you really trust this administration, the IRS, to be fair?
Hello, everybody. Just another day that the Lord has made, boy. Blessings for everyone. You see that intro? You already know what I'm on.
Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes! Sire, you have an absolute skill for encouraging contributions from the poor. To coin a phrase, my dear counselor, rob the poor to feed the rich. Am I right? Tell me, what is the next stop?
But before I begin any of the ranting and raving that I do oh so well, let me show you what I'm working with. Baked barbecue chicken. I got my asparagus and I got my cheesy cauliflower. Look at that. Ooh, you know you want some. Let's go ahead and say our grace. Let's get it in. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive. May it nourish our bodies and strengthen our minds. In your name we both pray. Amen. I got my number one here. My nephew DJ. Hey DJ! He's at work. Don't worry, young man. Your plate's at home in the microwave, waiting on you to get here.
Putin and China just did the unthinkable, and the West is in big trouble. The alliance between Russia and China is awesome. I mean awesome in a dramatic shift of the entire world economic order kind of way. What happened this week is absolutely groundbreaking and was probably the biggest story of the last 30 years, but it hardly got any news coverage at all. Seriously, one of the most important stories of our lifetime happened this week, and almost no one covered it. Russia joined forces with China to create their own new reserve currency. Officially. Yes, it's happening, guys. This means that the new reserve currency won't be the US dollar. This new currency will be based on rare earth minerals, guys. I've been saying this for a while, and that's why I'm personally investing in them, okay? Russia and China are moving their currency to gold, silver, uranium, nickel, copper, real, tangible things, guys. This means that Russia and China are tying their country's fortunes to minerals that they bring out of the ground and then sell to the rest of the world. Just look at how Russia started stockpiling gold over the last 20 years, while the United States went further and further into debt and printing money. Just look at this chart. This is gold. Astonishing. And this was all happening right out there in the open. Here is a headline 2 years before the war with Ukraine broke out. China and Russia ditched dollar and moved toward financial alliance. Yeah, and everyone else was ignoring it. We've had some recent dollar strengthening a little bit, but that's peanuts compared to what's actually happening, because these BRICS nations have been in the midst of a 20-year plan to de-dollarize. De-dollarize. Even before the Ukraine conflict started, both China and Russia were stockpiling gold and working on denominating transactions outside of the United States dollar. It was another secret that was all right there out in the open for anyone to pay attention to. This is a massive challenge to the US dollar, which isn't based on gold or anything. It's actually based on debt. Yes, the US dollar is a debt-based currency, and the United States is $30 trillion in debt. China and Russia are sitting on mountains of minerals that the United States and Europe are clamoring for. Frankly, they're begging for them.
Thing is an absolute tragedy for the American people. You talked about the IRS army. For the American people, that's on page 33 of this bill, the IRS army. Number one, most of the IRS agents aren't even back in the office. They're still working remotely. And then they're going to go find 80,000 more. That's insane.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Congressman. Senator Susan Collins wanted to block that part of the bill because, like you said, it would hire 87,000 new IRS agents. Many of them aren't even in the workplace right now. And get this, the mass hiring would give more employees to the IRS than the Pentagon, State Department, the FBI, as well as Border Patrol combined. This is $80 billion to hire all of these agents. Is that what America needs right now?
Funny. Yes, but not funny, haha. Funny weird.
You know they coming, y'all. And from what I'm hearing and understanding, they coming for all of us.
Hi, I'm Angela Paymore. I'm here from the IRS. I'm going to discuss your back taxes. Is it all right if I come in?
What?
Thanks. Oh, well, look at that. That's a beautiful painting. That looks about $3,000. You can go ahead and take my card, and my badge number is 109876. Here's your notice of intent to levy as well. Here's your taxpayer's rights. Oh, are you an art collector? That looks nice. Looks about $2,000 here. How much is this dress? It looks about $1,000. You want? Oh, look at that. That's a nice surfboard you got there. How much did that cost? About $800. Let's go ahead and do your financial now. What a lovely kitchen.
Well, not all of us.
So what you just witnessed there was what not to do if an IRS field agent knocks on your door. Now I'm going to show you what this taxpayer should have said.
Hi, I'm Angela Paymore. I'm here from the Internal Revenue Service. I'm here to talk about your back taxes that you owe. Here's my badge number, 109876. Here's your notice of intent to levy, along as with your taxpayer's right. May I come in?
Thank you, Revenue Officer Paymore, for coming out today. I'm so sorry that I've got this tax matter, but I actually have representation. I hired a tax attorney, Alyssa Watley. And so what I'll do is I'll take your card and all these letters, notices that you gave me, and I'll provide them to her, and she'll reach out to you. And unfortunately, I just don't feel comfortable talking to you without representation. So I'm not going to let you in today, but I hope that she can work it out with you, and we'll get you everything you need. Thanks.
Hey, this is Angela Paymore, field agent 109876. I'm here at the Payless's house, and unfortunately, this taxpayer knows their rights. I'm going to go back in.
Everybody knows how taxes work in America. You fill out your own tax form and you tell the government what you think you owe it. Now you're going to work it out at the point of a gun. Yes. So the IRS budget is going from $12 billion a year to $80 billion a year. And the direction in this legislation is for the IRS to hire 87,000 new agents. So before the legislation even passed, the IRS posted a public ad for agents. IRS agents' major duties. You can read what's in yellow. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Up until the present time, or whenever this legislation passes, only members of the Criminal Investigation Division of the IRS, which is a very small portion of it, just a few thousand employees, were allowed to carry guns. Now, of course, the vast majority of IRS agents will be carrying guns.
Mostly people making under $250,000 a year. Mid-class.
The IRS is not going to target just Republican taxpayers. They're going to target a class of taxpayers, probably those reporting between $75,000 and $250,000 a year. That's where most of the audits occur. But why the firearms is beyond me. Oh, and before this legislation even passed, in the past year, the IRS has purchased more than $700,000 worth of handguns and ammunition. Something bad is coming down.
What? You don't think Fat Meat Greasy?
87,000 new IRS agents. There's two maps I want to show you. This map shows you the places in the nation where the IRS audits the most. All the dark red places, that's where most IRS audits take place. Remember these locations. This map shows you the map where poverty in this nation is most dense, where the most people living in poverty are located. Did it look familiar? Here they are on top of another. Check out the places. Looks eerily similar, doesn't it? I'm not a tax guy. I'm not a CPA. I don't get paid for doing anyone's taxes, but I care about your finances. What these maps show you is that the people who can least afford an audit are the ones most likely to be audited. It's important that we all know that.
Why not put that money towards something that could really help the American people?
Okay, I'll say it for everybody. They just hired 87,000 IRS agents. God forbid you make a little bit of money and the dirty government don't get a cut of it. Instead of hiring 87,000 IRS agents, why don't we hire 87,000 veterans that need a job and put them at schools to protect these kids from getting shot up when they go to school?
This is bigger than tax money, y'all.
Hiring 87,000 IRS agents doesn't make a lot of sense. They will tell you it's just we're going to audit everybody and so on. But anybody think about this? The way to get around the Second Amendment is to audit you, say you owe them money, they seize all your assets, including your guns. Just think about that one. A way around the Second Amendment. Isn't that interesting? Has nothing to do with it. They say you owe money to taxes, and they just seize your shit, including your guns.
I mean, in reality, to date, there is no law that says we have to pay income tax. Y'all done made that up.
There is no law, and to date, nobody has been able to show that there is a law for the average American citizen working day in and day out to pay an income tax.
But We the People Foundation for Constitutional Education put a full-page ad in the USA Today on July 7th, 2000. And within the body of that ad was a $50,000 challenge for anyone that could show the law. And to me, $50,000 is a lot of money. So I went after that and did the research based on the fact that I thought, let's put this baby to bed. I'm hearing all these rumors. You know, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'll answer these people's questions that are asking me, and then I'll win this $50,000. And, you know, based on the research that I did throughout the year 2000 and that I'm still doing, I have not found that law. I've asked Congress. We've asked a lot of people in the IRS commissioners, helpers. They can't answer, because if they answer, the American people are going to know that this whole thing is a fraud.
There is no law. There is no law that requires the average American worker in the private sector to pay a direct, unapportioned tax on their labor and compensation for services. There is no law.
I really expected that, of course there's a law that you can point to in the law book, the code, that requires you to file a tax return. Of course there is. Maybe I don't know what it is right then as he was speaking to me, but sure. So naively, I agreed to go off and research it and get back to him. 3.5 months later, I was at that point where I couldn't find the statute that clearly made a person liable, at least not me and most people I know. And I had no choice in my mind except to resign.
I had to leave the IRS because I presented evidence that I had accumulated indicating that the agency was violating the law and violating people's rights. And I asked the agency for a response to my sincere concerns. And the answer I got was that they would not respond to my concerns and that they would provide me with the paperwork necessary to tender my resignation.
I mean, we work ourselves like slaves our whole lives just to survive. And the little money we do have, here y'all come trying to take it.
You'll stay in the job that you pick for the rest of your life.
The same job for the rest of your life? So you'll just work us to death?
We'll sure try.
I mean, quiet as kept. I thought taxes were only supposed to be a temporary thing to help out with the war and whatnot.
Take a chance. No, I'm not saying anything.
Sir, I'm an IRS special agent. I have any weapons on you.
Considering the fact that the United States government had to use tax evasion as a way to prosecute Al Capone, and taxes were only supposed to be implemented to pay for war, the Revolutionary War was mostly imported goods from Great Britain. Income taxes only came around in 1861 after the Civil War to pay for it, but it wasn't supposed to continue. In 1913, President Woodrow Wilson took America off the gold standard, which was further driven by Roosevelt and Nixon. Woodrow Wilson later apologized to the American people for that. I mean, the gold standard didn't create the Great Depression. The Federal Reserve did.
I was one of the few that got to see the IRS posting for their new IRS agent position before they took it down.
It's just hilarious. They took it down from the website. But this is what the major duties of an IRS agent are bulleted as. Adhere to the highest standards of conduct, especially maintaining honesty and integrity. Work a minimum of 50 hours per week, which may include regular hours, and be on call 24/7, including holidays and weekends. Can you be on call 24/7? Like, are you dealing with people's health, life and death situations? We're talking about tax bills, right? You need to be on call 24/7 in case there's a tax emergency. Somebody didn't pay their bill. We got to go after them. We got to investigate a bunch of documents and then tell them they owe us money, and then they're going to have plenty of time to pay us back. Like, it's just, who writes this shit? Maintain a level of fitness necessary to effectively respond to life-threatening situations on the job. I guess, like, if you knock on people's door and then a dog comes after you, or like somebody pulls a gun on you, I guess there are or could be life-threatening situations. And then the next one is like, I didn't know this. I mean, they took us down. I don't know if this is like, I don't know what to think about this, to be honest. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments. Did you know that the IRS and that income tax, that federal tax, is unconstitutional? And it was only supposed to be a temporary thing? It was also only supposed to be on the rich. It was supposed to be a temporary thing on the rich. Now it's become the standard for pretty much everybody.
IRS agents are not police, y'all.
Hey guys, how is it that a private organization like the IRS is now considered law enforcement?
They can't do that.
But here's the thing. The sheriff's department, the sheriff and all his deputies are bound by the Constitution. So the IRS is going to arm these people because they just spent a whole lot of money on ammunition and they've already got the guns. So when they show up to your house, say, yeah, hang on a second, go inside, lock the door, call your county sheriff, let them know how many armed people there are impersonating a government official on your property, because the IRS is not part of the government.
There are already laws in place to stop this madness. Consumer laws.
The IRS can actually knock on your neighbor's door.
Last time I checked, the IRS couldn't talk. They don't have a mouthpiece. That's the first thing. Let's get that straight. Okay. You have a point that they can knock. A representative may knock. A representative may ask. But guess what they can do with that information? Absolutely nothing. You want to know why? Because there are consumer laws to protect. So what consumer laws protect you from the IRS? Because they are a debt collector. Pursuant to the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, on the definitions, look at debt collector. That's them. But then also it goes on in 15 U.S.C. 692C that says communication with the consumer. In order to talk to me, you're going to have my express written consent. Yeah. And I know they're not asking nobody about a debt that a consumer may owe, because 15 U.S.C. 692B says you can't even state a consumer owe a debt. So y'all better learn your rights.
You got to fight fire with fire, y'all. Let's learn how to get these IRS monkeys off our damn backs. You got to know your rights, y'all.
Have you been selected for audit by the IRS? Do you have to meet face to face with an IRS auditor? Remember that if he disallows any expenses, you don't have to agree with him. You have rights to appeal his decision.
And before it gets to the point where they season and searching and season your shit, you get 5-letter notices.
If you want to beat the IRS, you have to understand these 5 letters. The first letter is called CP14, and that's a balance due notice. IRS cannot legally ask you for any payments unless you receive this letter first. The second letter is called CP501, and that letter is going to say important notice. The third letter is CP503, which is called urgent notice. Then you're going to get another letter called CP504. This letter is called refund levy, which means the IRS will keep all your tax refunds. The final notice is called letter 1058. That's called the final notice intent to levy, which means if you don't pay the IRS, they will take your assets. You'll be getting these 5 letters over a 6-month period.
And regardless how much you owe the damn IRS, there's 7 things they cannot touch.
7 things the IRS cannot touch, no matter how much money you owe them. Unemployment benefits, child support, workman's compensation payments, disability payments, railroad and military pension payments, public assistance, lastly, your work equipment and tools of trade. The IRS is smart enough to know not to put you out of business or out on the street.
I mean, if y'all that damn dead set on finding more tax money, you better ask Ukraine where the tax money at. I ain't gonna lie. I think I know something you don't.
I know something you don't. I know something you will never know.
You done eating? Damn. Mikey done smashed his plate. Well, if you guys like what you seen here, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys and you guys soon.